It's good to go. I'm gonna mute myself.
Well, awesome. And welcome everybody to our Believe to Achieve to Take Total Control group. Feels like it's been a little while since we've had a team call. Um, but Ashton and myself have definitely it caught our eye as well as the rest of the team. Miss Veronica has been in the top of our leaderboards, recognition boards, and it's just been amazing to see her journey and how she's come in these past 3 months and has just, I call her my rock star because she's taken off just like a rocket. And I myself, I can't take much credit for it at all. Uh, I'm trying to lead a little bit here and there, but truthfully, it's the main thing. Like Jeff Hill said Monday in the National Wake Up Call, it's your due diligence, your consistency over time that you will find success in this business. So I'm going to let Veronica kind of take over. We'll probably ask some questions a little bit later, but really just wanting to kind of understand how you got into learning about Beachbody, Veronica, and where your mind was at when you were first approached and what made you decide to join up.
All right. So providing that you can hear me, right? Good. So it's a pleasure. I'm quite humbled to be here, to be honest, because I felt like I could be successful, but I didn't expect it to go so fast like this. So I'm riding this wave, and it feels really good. So like more than a year now, uh, I connected with John on Facebook. Well, he connected with me, sent me a friend request. And you know how you do when people request your friendship on Facebook, you want to go through the profile and make sure it's legit, right? So when I went through, I saw that we had some mutual friends, which were gym friends. And so I felt he was pretty safe. I didn't know him. So anyway, I received the friend request. And sometime later, he sent an inbox saying he thought, had I ever thought about becoming a coach, because he thought I would be great at it. And my immediate response was like, I don't want to do that, no, or something like that. And I think you chatted with me quite a few times. I remember one post you had, it was like a multiple choice post, and it was something like, if you could change anything about your body or fitness or something, would it be to gain more muscle, lose fat, get nutrition right, or something? And I responded, which was to gain more muscle. And then you inboxed me. I forgot about that, but you inboxed me about that too. And then we wound up talking about coaching somehow again. And I was just like, no, absolutely not. I just started group fitness. I'm too busy. I'm just not interested. And then I kind of snuck a question in there, which was, well, how much does it take to start? And so I don't even remember what you said, but I was done with it. And so every now and then you would check in, say, hey, I was just seeing how you're doing on your fitness journey and how is the family. And I'm thinking to myself, what does he care about my family? Like why? So I'd give like a one-word answer or something like that. Well, during the year, it took me a year to come around. And during that year, what I saw through fitness instruction was that I assumed that people knew what kind of nutrition they needed. I assumed that they knew what kind of workout they needed. I just assumed that people knew it because they were in the gym all the time. But as the months started rolling by, I noticed people don't know. When you tell them eat, they're like, eat what? I'm not eating after I worked out, or they don't eat all day, or they take 3 classes and don't eat, or they don't know how to gain the muscle that they want. So anyway, I started asking myself a question, and the question was, how can I help more? I mean, I'm not quite a trainer because I'm still studying, but I need some tools. I mean, I can't take like another person coming to me discouraged when they put in such hard work. How could I help? And so as I thought about that for a year, that question, Beachbody came back to my mind. And part of the reason that it came back to my mind is because it never really left my mind because John was posting either about a challenge or his body transforming or somebody else's transformation. So it stayed in front of me on Facebook, even though I wasn't really paying attention to it. I wasn't liking anything. Certainly wasn't commenting because I didn't want to start him up again with the conversation about the coach. So it was just like, but that's part of why it stayed on my mind. And so I reached back out, and this time I said, I think I'm ready. So I had to come around on my own to my own why I want to do this. And so when I said, I think I'm ready, the next question was, okay, now how do I want to do this? Like, what challenge pack do I want? What program do I want? I went to the website and I started getting confused because I didn't know what I wanted to choose. And then John asked the question of, what are you trying to accomplish? And I said, I want to lean out. He said, well, you want lift forward. And I said, okay. So then I was just like, okay, how much is this going to cost? All the typical stuff. And so he told me how much it would cost. And I thought to myself, if I'm going to go all in and help people, then I better know about the system. And I didn't have like $400 some to throw around. But I knew that if I was going to help people, I had to understand what was going on. And so I jumped all the way in with a mega pack. I wanted to recharge, to recover, to energize, to hydrate. I wanted all of it because I needed to understand the system. And so I jumped in with my husband's support. He was very supportive. He said, if that's what you feel like you need to do, then do it. And I did it. I didn't think a lot about it because, you have a family. You think to yourself, I could use that money for something else. But I knew that this was going to create some additional income. I knew it was going to be a success in some kind of way. So I jumped on in. And so then I decided that I was going to start inviting people. I didn't know much about anything. I just said, John, what am I supposed to be doing now? Now I'm in. Now what? And he just said, just invite people, share. You're already doing it. You're already sharing on social media. Just do that. And I was like, that's simple, but okay. So I just went out there. I put it out there. I was shaking in my boots. I didn't know if people were going to want to buy it, could afford it, or anything. But I just said, I'm about to do this journey. I'm about to start an 8-week journey. And I want to tell you more about it. If you want to come, it's going to completely transform my body. I know it is. That's all the real information I had. And so then when they started reaching out, I was like, well, what am I supposed to be selling? And so then John said, well, set up a thread and I'll tell them. So that support was crucial in the beginning where I could set up a group of people and let him tell them I didn't have to be the expert. So it took a load off of my plate. And even then, I had my own personal group, and I was giving out wrong information. I was telling people they could sign up for $39, they could do this. And I was like, John, can you come in the group and go live and clear this up? And so I apologized. I told him I didn't know. I thought this was it, but John's going to tell you what it really is. And you know what? I was so scared that they were going to think she doesn't know what she's talking about. I'm not going to follow her. They didn't care. They saw me say, I'm sorry, I'm learning. This is a journey, because that's what this is. It's a journey. And I'm inviting you, so it automatically implies that I'm going to be learning with you. And so I took that approach the whole time. I want you to come with me. I want to walk through this together. I want us to help one another. So it was never that I needed to be the leader. Of course, there's natural leadership, but I didn't need to establish myself like that because I just posed it as a journey. Do you want to come? I don't know how much more you want me to tell. I can keep going.
Well, I definitely kind of pieces that I actually even didn't overlook but forgot about was when you got started. You were like, I want to get everything. I want to go all in. And even with me being a coach for 6 some odd years, you hear it, but you don't always not that you don't believe it, but it's like, oh, okay, let me see. She says she wants to go and get the mega pack. And to me, that was a turning point that I knew that this was something you were serious about. We even talked about that. I was like, yeah, you're putting the skin in the game. You want to get results. You want to share. You're going to be sharing it with people. not only because, like you said, the $400, but you're going all in on the products. You were being I want to be a full product of the product, and see how it does for me, and so I can help other people that much easier because you know what the product is.
Hmm.
So
Yeah, and that was part of what drew me back to Beachbody, because the other thing is, as a group fitness instructor, I got tired of people coming to me, wanting me to help them, wanting to know what supplements to take, what this, and I would send them to GNC, go get this. Now, this is what you want in Walmart. Go on aisle two, and you need to look here and get that. I'm directing them there. I'm directing them to get trained here. I'm sending them to this trainer and that trainer, but they were coming to me. They were looking at me and connecting with me and asking me to help. And I felt helpless. So Beachbody was an empowerment tool for me to help them. So they don't go to GNC anymore. They go in their Beachbody store and pick it up, or I send them a card. And so it made sense that if these people were going to come to me, that I could help them in a way that was super effective. And when I started looking at all of the trailers and things for Lift 4, I was excited. I was scared though, because I'd never weightlifted before. I do tons of cardio, but weights just wasn't my thing. And so I said to the group, going live, I love going live. I'm scared. I'm putting this out here that I'm about to take this journey. I don't even know if I'm going to stick with it. But one thing's for sure, if I say it to you and you're here with me, I'm not going to give up. And that was on the National Wake Up Call this week. The coach said, I knew I would give up on myself, but I wouldn't give up on other people who were dependent on me. And so it helped push me into a challenge of its own in my own body. So when my body started changing, I was sharing all along on my personal page and on Instagram. So people were pretty immersed in my journey. They knew what week I was in. They knew what I worked out that day. They knew what I was eating, what I was struggling with on my personal page. And the more immersed they got in it, the more interested they got, right? I don't want to get too far ahead of myself, but that's how I got started. And I would never do it a different way. Like I would jump all in all over again, thousands of times, because the results that people are getting and the results that I've gotten, um, has just been amazing. And it's been a beautiful journey on the side of having the challenge groups. So what's been super good for me is a few years ago, I did some training with HubSpot for online marketing, and I did nothing with the training. I just left it there. But again, when Beachbody came into my life, I started thinking to myself, I could use that. So let me think, how do I draw people in? Like, what's my unique way of drawing them? And who am I drawing? John and I, we had that conversation, like, who is your ideal client, in other words? And I started writing down ideas of who my ideal client is. He or she is someone who is already probably investing in their health in some kind of way through shakes or supplements or the gym or something like that, but they're not seeing results. That's who I speak to when I go live. That's who I'm thinking about the whole time. That person who's working hard but not getting results. Now, there are other people who hear that, right? People who never worked out, people who work out a little bit. But my messaging is mainly to that ideal client, right? So then I think to myself, okay, this is my thought process. How do I draw my ideal client closer to me? um, what's my method? So I love going live. I love videos. I love writing. I love taking pictures. I know that's not for everybody, but that's what I enjoy. And so I draw them closer with something funny. It might be fitness related, it might not be. I draw them closer with a live about how important it is to take care of yourself, or the importance of stretching or something like that. And usually when I do a Facebook Live, right away I get people commenting on it. And they'll say something like, yes, I need this, or I need to do that, or something like that. It generates a conversation. So right there in the thread, I'm going to have that ongoing conversation. Some people don't like to do that because it gets long-winded, but I like it because it's engagement, right? And so I might ask, or what have you done already? Or what are you doing? Or what do you think you need? And then the conversation progresses into an inbox conversation, right? Sometimes it starts right off the bat with the inbox conversation. What are you doing? You were talking about this on your video. They always start like that. I heard you say on your video, I saw that you posted that, and I want to know what this is about. So every morning for 3 months, 3 months, I don't remember a day this hasn't happened. People have been in my inbox asking me, tell me more. And it's because I believe that they were drawn in and engaged and they wanted to know more about it. Plus, I've been constantly posting my results and my journey. And so they're like, man, I want some of that. How can I get it? So I don't know. I can keep going on. I want to stay focused.
No, no, that's good. I was just going to ask if you have any concrete like numbers, like a daily, how many times you go live, or weekly, or um, do you have anything like set like in your mind? Like today, do you map it out? Like I'm going to go live with this and this, or kind of how does that go for you?
Okay, so I wish it was more concrete than it is. So I'm just going to be honest because I homeschool, I teach at a gym, I'm on the go. And so I don't usually have like a block of time that I can predict where I'm going to sit down and do it. But I know I'm going to go live because I look forward to it, right? And so during the day, I carry around my planner. It's a big, huge thing right here, and I'm writing down ideas of what I want to talk about when I'm live. I want to talk about energy. I want to talk about resistance training or something like that. So the content is there of what I want to talk about. And so if I notice on a Saturday morning that all the kids are in the living room and they're watching a movie, and I know the movie is going to be about an hour and a half long, then I'll run in this room where I am and turn the lights on and go live. Or while I'm in my car driving to the gym today, like the bulk of my lives, all of them were done while I was in the car. I have a car mount, and I don't worry about looking directly in the camera. I'm just driving and I'm just talking to them about what I want to talk about. Um, there are times when during my schedule I might have gotten some subs for my classes because I teach at a gym and I know I'm going to be home in the morning. Then I might set aside a block of time to go live in my challenge group, a live go live in my free group, and then live on my page. So it's not as concrete as I would like it, but I do have an idea of what I want to accomplish, and I'm looking for those time slots, those cracks, as Lindsay said, where I can fit it in, right? And so today I knew I had a long drive, so I was able to do like 3 or 4 videos, right? And so, yeah, it's not concrete, but now daily, however, I do make sure I post several times a day. I found out on Instagram, and social media is big for me because that's where I spend the bulk of my time, right? Um, and I realized that on Instagram to grow a following, because recently my following is like 120 some people, and it's gone up to 430 some just since I've been doing Beachbody. And that's slow for some people, but it's a lot for me. And so I just started posting at least 3 times a day on Instagram. And I realized hashtags matter on Instagram. So I'm thinking about hashtags that fit the people that I'm trying to speak to. I homeschool, so I use the hashtag homeschoolers. I'm a fit mom, so I use the hashtag fit mom. I'm a group fitness instructor, so I use that because I'm thinking to myself, the people like me are hanging out under these hashtags, and that's who I want to connect with, right? On Facebook, I don't have a set limit. I just post whatever I see, and usually it's funny stuff or just informational things. But I'm going to post daily and several times daily on both platforms. I know that for sure, just because I like it so much. And I used to keep my Facebook page really tight, like nobody could find me. I didn't want these people on my page. I don't want this or that. But then I realized, like, the world is my oyster, and they're all sitting behind the computer and the phone, and they want to know how to do this. They want to know how to move, how to accomplish their goals. And if I keep my social media really tight and clenched, then I can't really reach them like I want to. So I do spend like the early part of the morning when everybody's sleeping, I'll wake up and get oriented. and I'll go through the fringe suggestions on Facebook, and I'll look to see are they a part of a gym or some kind of fitness oriented organization? Does it look like they might want to lose some weight, or if the profile is public, I'll kind of scan their posts and see are they looking for a way to lose weight or gain muscle. And so I send out friend requests, several each day. I got that from a national wake up call. So social media is primarily where I'm getting my leads, and it's simply by opening up and being okay with other people coming in. And John, that's the way I met John. I mean, I didn't know him and he didn't know me, but something about my profile made him say this would be a good coach. And so there's thousands of people out there like that.
All right, I gotta hop in here now. So first off, I am super excited, and just listening to you, I wanted to bring out, first off, you're plugged in. Like, that's super awesome. You're like, I learned that from the National Wake Up Call. I learned that from the National Wake Up Call. And that's, you know, when we were new coaches, John and I were all over YouTube, like searching Scotty Hobbs, searching this person, like, okay, how do we do this? How do we do that? We had no idea. But that's a big part of being successful in this business, is being plugged in, and really just being raw and real. Like you said, you're like, you know what? I messed up here with my challenge group, and I told them I'm sorry. I was worried they were going to totally leave me, but they didn't. And it's because you're raw and real about it. And that's awesome, like amazing. So, I mean, you're totally rocking it out. You're learning, and you're busy, first off. And it's so funny too, because I give props to my SP there, because that just shows the power of the following up and staying consistent, and that a no is just not right now. It's not necessarily nope, but eventually, like, I know Lindsay, our coach, she took 18 months to get, like, she was like, all right, finally something just clicked. So let me see here. I wrote down a few notes here too that I wanted to ask. So you said that you've got about 430 followers on your Instagram now. Now with your Facebook, are you also, like, when you went into inviting, you know, do you have a big following on Facebook yet? Are you growing your Facebook as well and personally inviting on your Facebook?
Yeah, so I don't even know how many friends I have on Facebook, but I know that since I started Beachbody, that it's increased drastically, because I'm inviting people, I'm sending out friend requests and things like that. What I had to my benefit was that because I'm already so active on social media, it was easy for people to plug into this new message that I was giving out, because I was very active already. So I'm just adding this to what I'm already doing, you know. But Lindsay sent an email this, over the last few days. I don't remember when, but I read it yesterday, about cleaning up the Instagram account, putting nice pictures on it, good lighting. On the National Wake Up Call, we talked about adding people and how to go about that. So I'm going to implement those strategies this week on Instagram. And even just starting, I've noticed like 11 people today followed me, which I wasn't really getting that traction like that. And so I'm going to really start focusing, honing in on Instagram. But Facebook is my home. It's where I've been for years. And it's where people I know are. And so the people I went to elementary school with, high school with, college with, they're on there going, wow, I'm watching your transformation. Wow, you really have changed. Wow, look at your hair. You used to have tons of hair and now you have none. What's going on? You know, so I live in front of them, which is the fun part and the hard part. But yeah, that's really it. And you know, the other thing, I was in a sauna Tuesday, yesterday, and there was a lady in there. She was just talking about how people don't really want to lose weight, because if they wanted to lose weight, they would get in there and do it, and they would do this, and I don't have time to help people. And I just listened. I felt so sad, because I was like, that's not true. That's really not true. But the success, I think, in anything that we're doing depends on what we believe about it and why we believe that. And I know with every fiber of my being that is Veronica, that there are tons of people out there who need what we're doing. They need it. They need it for their families. They need it for their medical health. They just need this. And I need to show up. They're waiting for me in my Veronica voice, in my Veronica quirky way, to say whatever it is to make them come closer. They're waiting for me. They're waiting for somebody they can relate to. And so I know that, and that's why I won't stop asking people. John recommended the book Compound Effect to me. And I'm going really slow through the pages because I don't want to overlook anything. And anything that the author is saying I need to do, start doing one thing, two things, three things that might make a difference next year. Okay, then what are those three things I'm going to do? So I'm reading through that. I'm implementing what he's saying really slowly, and I'm just remembering my why. I know people need this, and sometimes people don't know what they need because they'll say no, and I don't need this. I'm just going to work out. I'm just going to do this. I'm just going to do that. They think they don't need it until they find out that what they're doing isn't really getting them what they want. So then they come back later. And so I don't get too discouraged when people say, I can't afford it. I can't do this right now. Oh, you just want to sell me. I don't get discouraged because I feel like they don't really know what they need. And so I feel like I need to be patient. And going back to the sauna situation, what I said to the lady in there, I said, I just don't believe that. I believe that everybody has their own reasons in their own time. And we got to totally respect that. So if I'm just planting a seed, then I'll just plant the seed because I found out last month that the seeds I planted when I first started, before I even got on the journey, those people are now coming back 8 weeks later. And now I'm posting, messaging towards them. I'm saying, I'm at the end of my 8 week journey, and you've seen what has happened for me. And you're probably wishing that you started off with me, but guess what? It's not too late. I'm about to go back in one more time. And when I did that, inboxes started coming in again. So it's okay for people to say no. It's okay to be patient. It's okay as long as you know why you're doing it. That's what's driving me. I know why I'm doing it. It breaks my heart every time a woman comes to my Zumba class or my pound class, or a man, and says, I've been working out for a year and I'm still so tired. I'm like, you know what? 8 weeks. You give me 8 weeks and Joel Freeman and some recover.
All right.
We're going to do this.
Did you initially start inviting though, like through your Facebook when, the people that you knew, did you straight up inbox them and be like, I know that you were saying like you messaged them and just was like, hey, I'm going to do this. You want to do this with me? Was that kind of the first initial invites that you went off on?
My initial invite was a public post on my Facebook page.
Okay.
And I already had a group of women that frequent my Zumba classes, and they were already in a group where we just talked. So both on my personal page and in that group, I said, I'm going on this journey. It's going to change my life. Let me tell you what it is. And I started going live about it. Um, I didn't post that much on Instagram because, again, I wasn't really into Instagram at that time. But if I could do it all over again, I would do the same thing on Instagram. I would use that Instagram live, the stories part. I haven't used it very much, but I would, if I did it all over again, I would do Instagram. I would work them simultaneously because Instagram is really good because it's so open. Like you could search for people under hashtags with common interests. That's amazing. And so yeah, it was on my personal page and in my group. And I didn't inbox anybody initially.
Okay.
Just that post. Yeah.
Awesome. I know John's probably waiting to hop on to ask a question. My next thing is you were talking about your challenge groups, which is awesome that you're running groups and you're doing this and that. How do you structure your groups? Do you have it set up where they do have to invest? Is that something that you make for your challenge groups, or do you leave it open to have, anybody a part of it and then structure that way?
Okay. So the group that existed before I started Beachbody, I still have that. And I still post in that group periodically. A lot of my energy doesn't go toward it, obviously, now because I have my challenge group. But I do make sure I go like in once or twice a week and post something for them. And I'm always telling them what we're doing in the group. So I might go live and post the live in there so they can see me working out, or a picture of my butt because it's just women. And so, so they can see how it's growing or something like that. And then in my challenge group, it's just for the people who invested. However, if I have somebody that I know is like right on the edge and they just need to know what we're doing, I'll plop them in the challenge group for about 7 days, and then I'll go back and say, now you got a good idea of what we're doing. Do you see why this is so effective? Yeah, I saw such and such was doing this, and blah, blah, blah. And by that time, we're talking again. So I always end the conversation like this: let me know when you're ready. Not if you're ready, then give me a call. It's let me know when you're ready. And I want to add this because this has been like golden for me. So once somebody sends me an inbox, I never talk about the price with them, like right off. I never do it because I feel like they don't really know the value. So if I give them a price and they don't understand the value, then they're going to back off like, whoa, wait a minute, I don't want this. And so I tell them right off, okay, well, send me your email address, your phone number, and a good time to call you because I really want to hear about your fitness goals and tell you about this program. So I got all of that in one box on purpose because once I talk to them and I tell them about the program, because I already know what they want. Every woman wants to lose weight and tone. You don't just want to lose weight usually, you want to tone too. So that's what I talk about. This is what the program is going to do, and this is how. So let me hear about your fitness goals now. What do you want to achieve with your body? I already really anticipate what they're going to say because I already talked about it. So now they start reiterating what I already said. So they'll go, so like you said, I want this belly fat to go away. And like you said, I don't like when I feel tired. And you said when, so they just reiterating what I said because it's what they want and I already anticipated. So then I just say again, this is the program that you want. It's 8 weeks is going to come and go anyway. So you might as well be closer to where you want to be or where you want to be, not getting out the bed and still in the same place. I say that to everybody because it's true. It's going to come and go anyway. You might as well get at it, right? And so I say, at the end of the call, I'm going to send you a card, the share a card in the coach office. I learned that from John because he sent me share a card. And I was like, okay, this is a useful tool. So after that conversation, I tell them, I'm going to send you a share card. Everything that we just talked about is in that card. You let me know when you sign up. Okay? Okay. I'm excited. I'm excited that you're about to take this journey. You are not going to be disappointed. Let me know when you sign up. And usually I get, I signed up, I did it. Two of them did it today. I signed up like you told me. All right. So I have to do that. That's my system because it cuts out on the back and forth. So first I get their phone number, then I got to go back for email, then I got to, and here's the other thing. When I create the card, I know what I talked to them about because they told me what they want to accomplish. So I know whether they want Shakeology with Energize and Recover, or I know that they don't want Shakeology. I know they want all three. So I send them that specific card. I don't like sending them to my website very much because I feel like they get lost. It's too many options, and it takes, we already know what we talked about. So I might send them two cards, one with the $230 pack and one with the $170 pack or whatever. And I choose the flavor for them because we talked about it. I love chocolate recovery. Usually they're going to say whatever you think is good. So I just put all of that in the cart. They can customize it if they want to. Usually they don't because we already talked about it, and it cuts out all the back and forth things. And that's, I think that's been part of the successful part because they have less time to talk themselves out of it. Because, these days we have families, so you got to consider, do I want to do this or do I want to do that? So the less time we have, the better it is, the way I see it. And the other thing is, I tell them, I said, now I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. I'm going to send you this card, and you're going to look at it, and your brain is going to say, you can wait till next month. You can wait till next week. You need to do this. You need to do that. Your brain is going to tell you that. But you're going to have to just say yes to it. You're going to have to say yes because your brain is going to reason you out of it. I know because mine did it too. I'm telling them this on the call. So I'm going to check back up on you to make sure that brain doesn't kick in and try to reason you out of doing what you know you want to
I love that. I'm actually going to write that down and start to do that because it's so true. Like the battlefield of the mind is so powerful. I'm going to have to tell John to, I don't know if you listened to the National Wake Up Call. I don't remember when it was, but Danielle Natuni went on a whole share a cart thing. So yeah, it was very powerful. And she actually has a script that she sent out. So she'll talk to people about their goals. And then what she does is she'll go in there and ask, it's a straight up question like, hey, do you want to try Energizer? If you want, number 3, you want to do the bars, how many, 1, 2, or 3 boxes, this and this and this. So it's been really great because a lot of people just initially go with that first challenge pack of the Beachbody On Demand and then Shakeology. And then they don't talk about the different products that we have because in our coach mind, they're like, if I can just get them on this, I ain't going to talk to them about anything else. But here you are, where you initially signed up with the $400 and some pack where you invested in everything. And look where you are. You're hitting Success Club 18, Success Club 10, Success Club 22 last month. Come on now, like for real. And this is the first 3 months of your business and you went all in on it. And so, we can open it up for questions here too, or John, if you have any other questions, but I would love for you because you've got so much wisdom and knowledge and that you can hear it and that belief in everything. And so if a new coach were on here, or if a coach that has a hard time believing like, okay, everyone's going to say no to me, what would you tell them?
What I do say is this: the air that we breathe has molecules there, carbon dioxide, oxygen. We can't see it, but it's still there, right? And so the same thing with the customers. You might not see them around you right now because your belief system is they don't want it, they're not going to want to pay, they don't want it. So what you don't see is the sea of people who will, right? So if you just back up off that belief system for a second and realize it's not going to serve you. Like it's going to self-sabotage every time because every time somebody rejects the offer, you're going to feel like, see, they don't want it. But that's not how I see it. I know that it took me a whole year, right? So it doesn't mean not ever. It just means not right now. And so I'm very patient with those people because I feel like eventually they're going to come back around. So back up off that belief system and know this: even if you don't see the people that you want to draw, they are there. They're there and they're waiting for you to show up with the right message. And you might have to play around with your messaging a little bit, but show up as you. Like I'm Veronica, and they expect me to talk about emotional stuff and spiritual stuff and quirky things, and they expect me to be silly. And so the people who are related, who relate to that, are going to come. And so if you spend your time trying to be like John or like Ashton or like somebody else, then they can't get your unique voice. They're out there. They need it. They want it. I see it every day. Open your eyes and ask yourself, where are these people? And start looking around. They're in the store limping because they're overweight, right? They're in the doctor's office miserable because they can't breathe. They're in the chiropractor because their back is hurting and they're having knee problems. They're out in your neighborhood walking, trying to get some results, but not sure how. They're in your gym right next to you in the fitness class. They are everywhere, but you won't see them if you think they're not there. So I'm telling you that they are. They are. If you just breathe that in, open your eyes, and ask the question, where are they? I think you'll start seeing. And then you'll start feeling more comfortable talking to them because you'll realize you're serving them. You're not trying to sell them a product. And I say this all the time. This is not Veronica trying to sell Beachbody to you. I don't care if you don't buy Beachbody. I really don't. Because there are people who are going to buy it. Right now, I just want you to be well. And so if that means you just start running on the treadmill, you get on the elliptical machine, whatever it is, just start doing it. But I believe that what I have can serve you. Even if you don't believe it, I believe it. They're out there. They're out there. They're out there. I promise. Don't take it as a source of discouragement when they say no. Just be patient with that and count it as a seed.
That's beautiful. I'm gonna open it up if anybody has any questions. I haven't seen anything in the chat. But on that topic as well, I know you talked about that Facebook. You had previously, before you were a Beachbody coach, you'd been posting, and obviously that was another reason where I was attracted to you, and so like right out the get go, as you said, I told you, I'm like, you're doing everything that a Beachbody coach does. You had talked about you had tried some programs before, and you were, we can see now, perfect example of what a Beachbody coach is. But when you first were starting to post, even before Beachbody, were when you were making your lives or your Facebook posts, was it things that you had struggled with yourself, or when you were coming up with your content? Like, how did you break out and just start that whole journey and that whole posting?
Yeah, so I used to feel so inadequate. Like I hated hearing myself talk on camera, and I hated looking at myself on camera. And so I took this public speaking class. It was part of my curriculum when I was going through my bachelor's degree, and they made us do it, like record ourselves and send it in, and made people critique it. And I was like, oh my God, please. And so I realized that I'm not that bad. I'm not that bad. So then what I did was I started being very meticulous with my videos. So I wouldn't go live because live wasn't quite there yet. So I would make the video and then upload it to iMovie. And then I would cut and paste. Like if I ever said or I don't know, or if I stuttered, I would cut that out and make a perfect video and put it there. But then it wasn't really drawing that much engagement because I don't think people saw me being real. They saw me trying to be perfect. And so it's very scripted and very tight, you know. And so I started off with my life coach training, and I used to do the videos like that. But the moment I realized that I just turned the camera on and then live started coming to select people at that time because everybody couldn't get live. But I was one of the ones. And I realized every time I turned the camera on, it didn't matter what was going on in the background. It didn't matter where I was. And people started commenting, and they would laugh and post emojis and stuff like that. And I thought to myself, they just want to see me being real. They don't want to, as much as I think I want to be perfect, they don't want to see perfection. They want to see somebody like them. They want to see my camera falling over. They want to see me looking on the side and talking to my children and saying, "Oh, excuse me, I'm sorry, my children were over there. They're screaming in the background." They just want somebody that they can relate to. And so mothers like me, they know how it is for children to be running around on the camera, right? So they smile at that and they go, "She's doing it like me. Let me talk to her a little bit more." So I struggled with feelings of inadequacy and not feeling comfortable. Also with my body, I'll tell you this. A lot of people don't like to post their results because they're ashamed of showing their body like that, the before picture. I had to get comfortable within myself that I was on a journey and that even though my body wasn't perfect, and it's still not perfect by any means, but people want to know that they can do what I'm doing. And the way that they know is if I invite them on the journey. So that before picture, it killed me to post it. Oh my God. I was like, look at my stomach. Oh my God. But now they've seen the work, they've seen the effectiveness of the program, they've seen what it takes, and they want in on it. And so I had to overcome like taking myself so seriously. Like I'm not really that serious of a person, and it's okay to let that out. Just sit on your porch and talk in the yard and talk in the car and talk wherever it is. People just want to relate to your life because Beachbody is a lifestyle. It's not even a one-time thing, you know, where you just go and get results and I still have problems though, because I'm like at this very clean wall, right? One day I'm gonna post in my kitchen, I promise, and that's gonna be a major accomplishment for me. I'm still overcoming it, every day, every single day.
Now we have a few people on. Does anybody have any questions for Miss Veronica? See how she's been getting SC22 in August when there was struggles from some people.
And I'm gonna add something once y'all are done with the question and answer. That was so important.
I know Jarrell has questions. Jarrell ain't gonna get on here and not talk.
I got, yeah. What's up? How y'all doing? I have one question, and I kind of asked, you already, John. When, like, immediately when I first saw Veronica come in and just crush everything, it was amazing. It was like a coach's dream. I was like, wow, you must feel so awesome, John. Like, this is so cool. I was excited for you. I asked you, I was like, how'd you get her? How did you find a Veronica? And I'd never asked you, Veronica, what was it that resonated with you so well that you saw John do? I know you said he was posting a lot, but and ultimately you came to your own conclusion. But like, I guess I just want to figure out how to find not necessarily more Veronicas, but just people who are ready to go. That you don't kind of have to, like, for lack of a better word, like
drive.
oh, kind of, yeah. Okay, yeah. There you go. I don't think that's a good word.
I'm going to make you watch the recording because she already talked about that.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I was some people.
What happened was, I think he gave me time to develop on my own, but never gave up. So periodically he'd be in my inbox saying, well, how you doing? I see you're doing great at Zumba or something like that. And so even though I said no, I think he took enough room, gave me enough space to develop my why on my own, to see what the need really was, as opposed to telling me what the need was. He was able to allow me to do it on my own. And so then when we started talking, he kept going back to the why, the why, the why. So that stayed on my mind. Why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? And I think if people get in their minds the why, that's going to drive everything. And it can't be, obviously, it can't be money, right? It's got to be a passion for people, I think, that's really going to matter. Like, I live to see people prosper, like, even if I don't make a dime from it. And so now that I can earn an income, it's been phenomenal. And then there have been times where I felt like I'm slipping, or maybe a voice of doubt is coming in, and I'll say, okay, I feel like I'm losing focus. And that's when he recommended compound effect. I'd say, I feel like I'm getting lost. And so here came the Diamond Mentorship application. Or I feel like, so like with a person like me, I need to be able to admit that I'm failing or feel like I'm failing. And I need something tangible to help me come up out of the pit. And I'll do exactly what you tell me. So like he tells me, oh, you're just 2 points away from winning this. Really, what do I have to do? Tell me. Or you're about to win the Coach Summit ticket. All you have to do is this. Okay, really? Or the retreat is coming up. What do I have to do? And so I think the passion is important, but the why is most important. Like, if people can establish their why, that's what's going to drive them. That's what I think. And as I'm building my coach team, I'm talking about that every single day, the why, because that's what's going to keep them in, even when the rejections come, or even when they don't believe in themselves. I still believe I'm served. I still believe I'm needed, and I still have somebody that I can say, okay, I'm feeling like crap today. What do I need to do? Okay, you need to make sure you drink your Shakeology first, and then start inviting people to coach. So the direction is good too. That's the other thing. So he said, you've been doing really well posting about your fitness journey, but I think it's time for you to also begin to invite coaches. Like, like, okay, all right. So the direction, the why, and choosing people with a passion, I think is key. And I wanted to add that anyway because that's been a big part of this for me, being able to send a text message and saying, I don't know where to find this, or what is this, or why does that make sense? Like today, I asked him, why would I want to unfollow people on Instagram? And he just took a moment to send a voice memo to tell me why, and I was like, oh, that makes sense. People just don't know. You need information, tangible information. That's what I think.
Thank you. Thank you for re-answering that question.
I don't think I quite said it that way anyway, so it was new information.
Yeah, that was good.
Anyone else have any questions?
I just, and I don't know, this is Sharvela, you may have answered this before too, but just what about those individuals that tell you, I'm so busy, or you have people that, they say they're still interested, don't give up on me, I'm still interested, but every time you make contact with them, they're so busy, they don't have time right now. And I say some of the things that, you say too, but then they're like so busy. And I have some, sorry, my battery is going. I have some people that, I say some of the things that you say, well, this is something really good for you, blah, blah, blah. And they say, well, now I'm so busy, but I'll get back to you, that kind of thing. Or, the money situation. And I really like what you said about the share cart. And I have done that with some people, but the method that you use, I can see, I say, yeah, that's a good method. So, but just some people say they're so busy, and I know about being busy because I'm a single mom. I have not three children. My oldest daughter, she's grown, but still 3 children. I help her out with my grandkids and have one in college now and one in high school. So, I know about ripping and running and being busy, but your health is important. I explain all that to them, and they're still, you really, you have something good for them, and you want them to come on, join me on this journey, be a part of this, and it's like, how have you gotten to that barrier? Sorry, that's a long question there, long drawn out.
No, it's a question. Good question. It's a good question.
Because that's where I think that's where I struggle. So many people say they're interested, they want to do something, they have health issues, and so you try not to get like you want to just say, come on, and they're just like, oh, I'm so busy, or I don't have time, or next month, or who knows if you've got next month. Right. What you might do if you start this program today, you could be preventing something from happening in your body that was going to happen next month. You don't know, right?
Right. And people tell me that too. Don't get me wrong. Like it's kind of a numbers game because I feel like the more people I talk to, the more people I'm going to come in contact who understand the value. But one reason that I start talking first when we get on the phone is because I want to hit all of their pain points all at one time because I already know what it's going to be. Time, money, fear of commitment. That's part of it. So when I start talking, I start saying, these workouts are 4 days a week for Lift Forward because that's what I'm passionate about right now. So workouts are 30 minutes on average. 30 minutes. You have 30 minutes.
Right.
You have 30 minutes. That's how I'm talking. You have 30 minutes. You got 30 minutes to get this done before dinner is served. I've gotten 30 minutes in before a conference call, 30 minutes in before a meeting, 30 minutes at 11:30 at night. You have 30 minutes to do this because I know about being busy. And I go live every night with my 30 minutes. The longest one is 39 minutes. The shortest one's been 27, on average 30. You got 30 minutes. And in 30 minutes, you're going to beast out such a workout that you're going to burn fat and build muscle. And every week, you're going to notice changes every single week. Who doesn't have time to notice changes every week? I say that before if they even start. So by the time they start talking, like they can't really say the time thing to me because I've already said all of that. So usually there's no objection about time. Like you already established that you have the time. So the
Right.
next thing is the money. I'm going to talk about how much I know easily people who pay $200 a month for personal training. This
Mm-hmm.
is $170, $230 for 8 weeks. And not only that, at the end of the 8 weeks, if you find out you want to go back in, you don't have to sign up again. You just go back in. That's a win-win situation to me. So $170 is for 8 weeks of coaching, supplements, nutrition. Okay, you ever tried to work out without nutrition? Because I have, and I ended up discouraged every time. And you ever tried to have solid nutrition without the right kind of workout? I have. And I ended up discouraged every time. This is what I'm telling them before they even say anything. I say the same thing every time because I already know what their issues are going to be. And so then I say to them, even about energize, how about this? Have you ever been in the middle of an intense workout and you just got tired? Yeah. What'd you do? I backed off. Right. You didn't execute the program because you didn't have enough energy. You got tired.
Right.
And then you were so sore the next day, you didn't even want to do it again. Okay. So this is why your pre-workout drink is essential. It's going to give you, this is how I'm talking before they ever say anything. So by the time I'm done, like the value is established, all their pain points are hit. And so now we just need to talk about when. So we get to the when, right? And some of them do say, I have to wait 2 weeks, or I have to talk to my husband, or I have to do this. Not everybody signs up right away. In fact, most of them don't sign up right away. But I get that share card to them. And here's the thing, I send it by email. I send that share card by email, and I send it by text, and I send it by Facebook message. Because here's the thing, they'll say, I never got the email. That's okay, because
I had that. 2 people.
Right. I'm sending it. The link is right here just in case. Cause I know me. If you send me a link and I get distracted, I'm going to leave and probably not come back. But if it's in my text messages, because I'm always in my text messages,
Right.
I'm going to see it and click on it. And I need it to take me directly there. Don't take me to the Beachbody site. Don't present me 5 different things. Just give me what we talked about. And so, like, that's kind of how it goes. And everybody doesn't come in. Like the 2 people that signed up today, one of them I talked to when I first started, and she said, no, I'm going to do it on my own. I already work out at the gym. But 8 weeks later, she's still not where she wants to be. She's watched my journey all along, and now it's saying, okay, I need some of what you have. So it's just be patient with the seed, because they will grow roots if you keep up with them. Comment like on their pages sometimes, like, oh girl, your child is so beautiful, or whatever you think about them. I would say it. And it's been that way with coaches too, because as I start inviting coaches, people automatically go, well, what's involved? What's the fee? What I gotta do? Okay, so here it is. You can earn money doing what you already do, which is posting.
Okay.
It's a no-brainer. You're going to get the coach discount. And guess what? If you find out you don't want it in about a month, which I don't think that's going to happen, because you're going to get on this amazing team and we're going to ride together. But the worst case scenario is if you don't want it, then you can back out of it. There's no strings attached.
Sorry about that.
But I know they're going to fall in love with whatever I'm talking about. And what I'm always talking about is that Energize. Like, Energize is like night and day.
Yeah, I love Energize.
Yeah. And so now the people who bought the challenge pack, I'm noticing they're setting up auto shifts. I'm talking about that because now they feel like they need it. They need Shakeology. These were people who told me no at first, you know. But they came back 2 months later and was like, I'm ready now. Like at the beginning of August, I had 0 success points. I was just like, now how am I going to beat what I did last month? And I have 0 people. I'm like, what gives? But all the seeds that I planted the month before came back.
Thank you.
Yeah. I could talk for hours, so I'm sorry if I get carried away.
No, that's good stuff. I mean, it's good, and it's especially great to hear it from just from different people and different aspects and everything. Um, for one, I know that we need to take a picture before we hop off. But another thing too is to utilize Evernote. I know that we have it in our group files and everything, and there's some objection scripts in there as well too to kind of take a look at. One thing that I've used with a lot of people too is that I learned from Josh Coates. I was in a couple of his different trainings and everything, or mentorship groups, I should call them. I'm actually doing his one right now with him too. But he asks people, like when they tell him that I can't afford it. And pretty much he just straight up bluntly, okay, I sympathizing with them, like, okay, I don't know exactly what you're going through, but let me ask you, where do you want to be a year from now? Well, most people, you know what, I guarantee you every single person talks about how they want to lose weight, or they want to also they want to get out of debt, because how much of America is in debt and how much of America is overweight. So that's what they start to go off. They want this, they want that. Awesome. So let me ask you this. What are you doing now to accomplish that? And that's when most people start to draw a blank. They don't really say anything because they know right then and there that they're not doing something to accomplish that, because again, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. They can't keep doing the same thing they're doing and get out of debt, or doing the same thing that they're doing and accomplish their health and fitness goals and everything. So that's when you bring that belief in. All right, so let me ask you, would a $160 investment up front be worth having those things that you're wanting a year from now? Here's the thing. I can't promise you that you'll get all of those things that you're wanting, but what if I told you, if you're willing to put in some hard work and put in some effort, that a year from now, you're going to be a whole lot closer to your goals than you would be if you're doing the same thing that you are now. And you brought that up too, about how you're like, you know what, 8 weeks are going to go by anyways. So either you can get closer to your goals or you can't. And with the whole time situation, most people, again, they talk about the whole wanting to get out of debt, like they care about their family and this and everything. They want this for their family. Well, so if you're like, what are you doing now to accomplish that? And they're like, well, all right, well, let me ask you this. You said that you have a family, and I know that you love your family and care about your family. Don't you want to give them the life that they deserve? Let me tell you, that hits somebody right there. If they got kids and they have a family and they want to do something for their family and they know that they're not doing something, that's powerful. So make sure that you guys are also checking that out. There's so much, this is what it looks like right here. So there's different scripts in here. There's different group setups. There's objections and things like that as well too, that you guys have access to, and you can copy it over into your own Evernote if you would like, but you have the ability to go in there and check it out and stuff and look at that. But I love Evernote. I can utilize it for my phone as well too. It's free. You can get a paid one. I'm not sure what the whole difference of the paid one is there, but no, like we could probably listen to you talk forever. So you have, like I said, you've got so much wisdom and knowledge, and it's so great to have that fire coming in our team. Like that's what we're looking for. I'm still waiting for Darrell to get back to me on when he's hitting up his next, or doing the call. Do you guys have any other questions? Hold up, what was in the chat here?
I think Jerome had a question.
I do. So when you talk to people, do you ever like text back and forth, or is it all like figuring out a time to call them and then talking to them on that call?
For me, it's on the call. Like I feel like personally, my personal way is that I need to talk to them. Everything that I'm saying, that I say, like I feel like I need to say that, because if I send something through text message, their objection is going to come too quick before I can address it all. That's just how I feel. And so I usually don't. I've done it maybe once or twice, and I don't really remember if that returned what I signed up or anything. It probably was a seed, but I really like talking to them.
So when you talk to them, And you follow back up with them. Is that also on the call?
No, so by the time we're done off of the call, they have the share card. So maybe the next day or maybe later, maybe a couple of hours later, I'll say, hey, I'm just making sure you got the email and the link because I sent it both ways. And they usually say, yeah, I got it. I'm going to look over it or whatever. And I'll say, I'll check back with you. So maybe 2 days later, if they already haven't signed up because we've gone through the whole ordeal, then I'll say, so let me know when you're ready to sign up because I have my challenge group going and I have a group of ladies who are going to start around the same time. So you want to get in with the momentum of the group. I really want you to do that. So let me know when you sign up and then I'm going to call you and we're going to walk through the program together. And then that usually leads them to sign up, usually. And sometimes it doesn't. You know, some people take longer than others, but that's usually the process for me.
Awesome. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Miss Becca, I'm not going to say it. You got to come off mute.
Thanks, SB.
I just found it. So what does your tracking system look like? Like, how do you keep track of everybody you talk to?
Yeah, so I have, okay, so I live in my Facebook Messenger, okay? So I'm constantly kind of going through Facebook Messenger, looking at conversations that I had and where it left off, right? So I do that several times a day. That's the first thing. And then secondly, I have this big, huge planner that is full of names of people that responded to a post or said they might be interested, and I have either follow up, make initial call, send something or whatever. Like I have written down what I want to do for them. So every day there's people on there that I need to contact in some kind of way. But Messenger and my text messages, I know I'm kind of weird, right? But I just scroll down my text messages several times a day and to see if I left off. You know how sometimes you think you responded to somebody and you really didn't? Well, I can see that because I'm checking my text messages, making sure everything was finished. And I'm checking Messenger and make sure every conversation was wrapped up. And if it's not wrapped up and I see that I didn't finish it, then I go on and finish the rest of it. Make sure that every single person is touched and followed up on daily. Um, so, yeah, I don't have a true tracking system. That's just kind of my method.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And the other thing I think has been really good is the people in my challenge group, I ask them, please share your results on your page and tag me. Like, if you don't want to be a coach, how you can support me, share your results on your page and tag me. And I get leads that way too because people are saying, wow, girl, you look so good. What have you been doing? Well, my coach, Veronica, there's the tag, can tell you all about it. So that sends people my way too. Lift 4 is an amazing program. Like, it's so good.
Well, it looks like that is all the questions. So Ashton didn't have anything else. I just wanted to wrap up and ask you, where is your goals and vision for the rest of the year, and where do you see this crazy beach body coaching community life taking you in the next 5 years?
All right, so there's 3 things I can say about that. The first video you sent me after I purchased my challenge pack, I don't remember the lady's name, but she was on the stage and she had hair like mine. She was an African American woman, and she was talking about
Artina Marie.
what's her name?
Artina Marie.
I called her Wakanda because she looked like she was like, she looked so powerful, man.
Yeah. So when I saw her up there, it was like I was hearing myself talk. And she was asking the same question that I had been asking. Where are the people like me? Where are they? And she said, I go where they are. And I just, for a split second, I saw myself on the stage like that, talking. And I said, oh my God, this is so me. I think I probably responded like that in inbox. So that was the first thing. I saw myself on stage. Then I listened to my second ever national wake up call. I don't remember the coach's name, but she said she hit Success Club 88 times. And I was like, whoa. So she's not that different from me. I'm going to listen to everything that she said, and I'm going to try it because I want to meet Success Club 88 times. And the one this week, he said he met it 77 times, but I don't want 77 times. I want 88 times. And so then I really just, something is stirring in me about that. And I really feel it that I can do that. And so I want to do that. I want to, before December, I told John, before December, I want to be diamond. He said, you'll be diamond before that. You're already diamond. Actually, we're just figuring out where to put these people. And I was like, you know what? That is the case. And so I want to be diamond before December. I want to hit Success Club 88 times just because that's a personal goal. I think it's so cool. But beyond that, I want to be self-sustaining. Like, I want this to be a full-time income for me so that I can do what I love and not have to go in the office and work for big blocks of time. I can do this all the time. So I signed up for 2D Mindset certification and PIO certification. I just really want to immerse myself in Beachbody. Those are my personal goals. And of course, every month, I want to sign up at least 3 people. At least 3.
Yay. Thank
That's
you
all I
so
got.
much. What?
I said, that's all I got. Mike.
Awesome. Well, yeah, thank you for your time and thank you guys for hopping on and everything. Before we go, we are taking a picture, so just deal with it and smile. Let me stop this quick.